almost forgot my tablet. Can't forget that. Because you know I'm forgetful as all hell. Come on a little early today. Because I don't want to stay on too long. All right. See about the 3 to 5 minute mark. We'll see how we're doing at that point. And we'll go from there. Hopefully my moderators come in very soon. And we can get things started. I should have Instagram on this thing so I can actually see it. But I don't. So here we are. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna wait to the 3 to 5 minute mark. 3 minutes or 5 minutes? 3 to 5. We'll see. We will see how everything goes. Moderators roll in usually around like 3 minutes, so we will see. Oh my gosh. Hi. I don't know how to say your name. Inches? Not sure why you chose so many random letters, but hello. Waiting for my moderators to get in, so it's like 5 minute mark. She might be at work, one of them. Might be at work, but we will see. I am starting at a different time today, even though no. Well, maybe she is. It is Sunday. I'm okay. How are you? Waiting for my little cluster to join. I usually get them in around the 3 to 5 minute mark, so we will see. I'm right now just reading. Why aren't you doing good? What's going on? Well, I mean, the world is kind of shit, so there's that. I get why people aren't doing well. I do okay. You know, when I start to feel bad, I tend to either give me a sweet treat because I'm a foodie, or I take a nap. Okay, some reason, sleep just makes you feel refreshed. I'm sorry to hear that. That's very unfortunate. If you missed them, then that means that they were a good dad. I'm sorry you're missing a good person in your life. That's really sad. I'm not gonna say your name, D, but hello. And just, if you're a troll, that's weird. Hi, Yana Bear. Yes, my lovely, lovely moderator has already joined. Inches, for somebody who just either lied about their dad passing away or somebody's dad who did pass away, you sure jump from one topic to the next. That's interesting. Hi, Free Clips. Hi, Basketball Queen. Free Clips and Basketball Queen. Didn't I see you on the last live? I could have swore I remembered y'all. I could have swore. I'm bad with names. I'm really good with like pictures and stuff. So if I saw y'all in the last live, then great. But I'm terrible with names. But I could have swore Free Clips. I've seen your profile picture, and I could have swore Basketball Queen. I've seen your profile picture as well. I could have swore I saw y'all. Oh, I was just about to say something, Inches. Quick reminder, everyone. Quick reminder. The moderator, specifically Yana, is extremely swift. So if you're going to be a troll, you're going to be rude, you're going to be weird, they will block you immediately. So if you would like to stay in the live a little bit longer, I suggest you keep your ignorance to yourself because she does not play with stupidity and you will be gone soon. Well, Free Clips, welcome back. Glad to see you. Happy to see y'all. So sorry if I'm terrible with names. I'm just ADHD right. Pictures though. In the noggin, in the brain, in the brain, in the noggin. Okay, we are coming up on the 5 minute mark. I'm pretty sure Silly Willy will join eventually. Okay, let's get ready to rumble. I am super excited to see y'all. I haven't seen y'all in a little bit. Sorry I didn't come back that week. Literally, my birthday came up. My birthday had happened, and then I got really tired, and I had to rest the rest of the days. And then after that, I've been out of it, okay? But I said this week I have not posted a video for you guys, so I have to make sure I hop on live and chat it up, talk to y'all, see how y'all are doing. See, if you saw me in your dreams, congratulations. I'm not really sure what to say. Anyways, I want to start the live off. We're going to talk about a couple things today, but I want to start the live off by talking about the body positivity movement. Okay? You already know, anybody, y'all know that I think that losers are people who talk shit about people all the damn time, right? But I really want to talk about body positivity because it came up on a post that I had saw on Instagram, I think it was, where basically, no, I saw it in the Jubilee. Now, Malaya Meyer, is that how you say your name? Malaya? I don't know how you say that. Thank you so much, sweetheart. That is so freaking sweet. Free clips, I will get to your question in just a second. I don't want to miss my thought. But I saw it on Jubilee. And basically, somebody was talking about how the body positivity movement is all about people saying that they love themselves and their bodies, and they're going to keep it that way, right? And I could be wrong, but I don't believe that I am. Hi, Samir. I'm going to say hey to everybody once I get my little point across. I don't think that I am. When it comes down to the body positivity movement, I do not interpret it the same way other people do. And y'all can kind of, put your opinions down in the comments, but the way that I see it, I do not think that the body positivity movement is, oh, my body is this way, I'm going to keep it this way forever without changing anything ever. That's not what that means. To me, body positivity is keeping your self-love, your self-worth, your confidence, and your worthiness, right, constant. And what do I mean by that? Basically, it means, I'll use myself as a perfect example. No matter what happens to your body, you will still love yourself, right? You will still think that you're worthy of respect, love, understanding. You know what I'm saying? Humanness, if you will. Because for some reason, when it comes down to you being different bodied or whatever the fuck, people tend to try to use that as an excuse to treat you like you don't matter or something. And so it makes me mad when people try to say, oh, how can you say that you're body positive and then you lose weight? How can you say that you're body positive and then you get a breast reduction? How can you say that you're body positive but then you go on a diet? Body positivity means no matter what happens with my body, I still love myself. And body positivity goes beyond weight too, right? That goes for if you're getting old. So you get wrinkles on your face, you get gray hairs, okay? You can't move as fast as you used to, right? So that goes for vitiligo if your skin is starting to change. That goes for if you have acne, things like that, right? Your self-worth remains constant. It will not change ever, no matter what fucking happens. And using myself as a perfect example, when I was in middle school, I didn't have self-worth and self-confidence, and people bullied me about my weight, right? I lost the weight, and then I sat there and thought to myself, why did I do this? I don't care about the people. I don't like the people. Y'all, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's Malaya or... You just correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Malaya Myers. I appreciate you. You are so freaking sweet. You do not have to do that. I appreciate you so much for that. Kisses. I appreciate you so much. But I was thinking about that in middle school. I don't even like these people. I don't even care about these people. Why am I letting them affect my opinion of myself, right? Why do I believe I'm not worthy of something just because my body looks a certain way, right? And when I had that epiphany, it also dawned on me that it doesn't really fucking matter what part of my body changes. It doesn't matter. That doesn't give you the right to disrespect me. That doesn't give you the right to mistreat me. That doesn't give you the right to make me feel less than because you don't like something about my body. That includes people who are too short or people who are not even too short, but people who are short, tall, different complexion. It extends beyond that. It's all about knowing that you are worthy of respect, human decency, no matter what your body looks like. And so it makes me angry when people try to make it seem like you can't make changes to your body because the body positivity thing is not saying, oh, I like the way my body looks right now and I'm never going to change it. That's not what that means. It's supposed to mean whatever changes in my life, it doesn't matter. I'm still that bitch, right? I was $170 when I was in middle school, high school, whatever the hell. Loved myself then. I got fat. Love myself now. And honestly, when it came down to it, when I really thought about it when I was a kid, I was almost 9 pounds when I was born. So I think I was always meant to be chunky. Hey, what can I say, right? But all jokes aside, like that's really what it's supposed to mean. That's really what it's supposed to be. Like you're supposed to be able to keep those things constant no matter what. So that goes for when you get old. Because I hate it when people make it seem like you have to hate something before you make a change, right? Just because I moved to a new city doesn't mean I hated the previous city. You know what I'm saying? Just because I take on a new career doesn't mean that I hated my previous career. Just because I find new friends doesn't mean that I hated my previous friends. That none of that shit means that I fucking hated the thing before. It could just mean I want a change. That same thing goes with your body. Sometimes you can like the way that your body is looking right now, but then you get older and you realize your body doesn't move the same. You could be like, oh, I loved when I used to go and let's just say I'll use myself as a perfect example. When I was a kid, I used to be able to eat a lot more like fast food, so like McDonald's, Burger King, stuff like that. As I've gotten older, I mean, I'm only 24, but as I've gotten older, I can't eat fast food like that. Like point blank fucking period. Like I can only eat at places that are like Panera, maybe get like Chipotle or something like that. Something that's of like the salad, soup, regular pasta variety, or I mainly cook at home because eating all that processed food is just not good for me anymore. Does that mean that I hated Taco Bell, I hated McDonald's, I hate Wendy's or whatever the fuck? No, it just means my body has made a change and now I have to shift that change. With that, it's shifting either with me or without me. But at the end of the day, I don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna happen no matter what. That applies to everything in your life. You could have loved being a chunky monkey, but then when you get older, your body can't handle the weight anymore. As we decay, unfortunately, we all decay. As we all die, okay? Things change. You could literally been super passionate and love something. I'll use a perfect example. There was somebody on Instagram. She used to make like BL art for one of my favorite BL, which is Codename Anastasia. She literally came out on her story one day and was like, I've been doing this for so many years and I don't want to do it anymore. And completely deleted every fucking thing. Completely deleted everything. out of the blue. And her friends were just like, whoa, hold on now. Hold on, pause. What just happened, right? But that's literally how things can change. She literally put on her story, I loved it. I just don't anymore. It doesn't fulfill me anymore. Does that mean that she hated making art? No. Does that mean that she hates the art form now? No. It just means that she made a change based off of how she feels right now. Outside circumstances can change that as well. But my whole point is that remains constant. Always. Your worthiness remains constant. There are people out here, literally, I've seen videos. There are people out here who believe that if you are fat, you don't deserve love. But then have a big back ass mama. You understand what I'm saying? Like, as a fellow big back. And you sit back like, are you mental? Are you insane? And that literally applies to, once again, anything. There are people who think that tall girls don't deserve love, that little people don't deserve love, because they're small or they're tall or whatever the fuck. But the thing is that everyone is worthy. It doesn't matter who the fuck you are, what you look like or whatever. Everyone is worthy. And something that really opened my mind, right? Something that really like got me when I was thinking about this as an adult, as a child. My mother has been plus size as long as I can remember. She's had a husband and 3 different men who wanted to have children with her. She's been plus size once again, as long as I can remember. Okay, my father's wife had a man who had children with her, and then my father married her. She's been plus size as long as I've known her. I was in their wedding. Baby, and just bringing it down to me. I'll get you out questions in seconds. I just don't want to mess up my mind because my ADHD will make me forget. Coming out to me, I've never had a problem. This week alone, okay, I've had 3 different men try to ask me out. All respectful, by the way, but 3 different men. I've never had a problem. And you know what the biggest thing is? I don't think that people like understand. Confidence is so infectious. Like when you walk into a room like you're that fucking girl, I've literally had men pay me because of who I am. I've literally had men tell me for weeks when I used to work at the bank, we couldn't accept gifts. We couldn't accept gifts. We couldn't accept money. We couldn't accept none of that stuff because it was like it could be seen as a form of coercion, right? understandable when it comes out to money. Like you'll waive fees or you'll like do something on their account. We couldn't accept gifts, right? But these men, just for me being who I am, would literally be like, slip me $20. And I'm like, sorry, you can't give me that. They're like, bye, have a good day. Leaving out the building. I can't do anything. I've had men get me gifts. Are you listening? Like I like this is the type of shit that I've dealt with. And I've been a chunky monkey for a while. I stopped doing the whole workout thing in middle school. I started working out when I was like, what, 13? I'm 24. I've only gotten fatter. And I've never had a problem. And I never will have a problem. You want to know why? Because I'm deserving. And I know that I'm deserving. And I know that I'm worthy. I've had millionaires try to ask me out. Personality not right? No. I'm not gently moved by little advances and shit like that because I know that I am worthy of something great. Let me get to y'all questions. I don't want to miss anything. Malaya girl, you are so sweet. Yana Bean, I don't know if you can see him all the way up here, whatever his name is, G_BGG, whatever this little weird race is. If you can block him, please. Blockstar, thank you. Let me say Giselle, hi. Pauline, hi. Skylar. Thank you, LG. I appreciate the compliment. Hi, John. Freaklips didn't know that you left. Thanks, LG. I try. I get the wisdom from my mother. GCA. I'm not sure if you're trying to be funny, GCA, but Yana block him as well. If you can see him. I'll just let you have it. Lillian, being of a plus size, yes, just like being skinny can also run in people's DNA. Just like having like gray hair early running your DNA. Balding fast, being short. People just don't, they're not smart. My kid's gonna be plus size too. Okay. Is that supposed to be a threat? Your fave, hi 67 Betty. Thank you so much, Skylar. You're so sweet. Thank you so much, 67 Betty. Already dead? I don't know if you were listening or not, but yeah. GCA, people gaslight me all the time. Yeah, and people will do that. And you know what's so funny? I always find when people have something negative to say about others, it's usually just a projection. It's a projection of what you lack, right? I literally just watched a video the other day on my Instagram. Not the person, but a creator that I follow responded to this person. And this guy was just like, oh, where do plus size women, where do fat women get their confidence from? Where do they get their confidence from? Baby, I deserve it. I deserve it all. I deserve it all. And the funniest thing is that like when you recognize that you deserve it all, when you recognize that you are worthy no matter how you look, you will see how shit just falls into your lap and people don't understand how. They can't comprehend how. Because see, your shit is transactional, right? If you were to gain a pound or lose a pound, you're going to be up in arms for the next week trying to figure out how you're going to get that back down or get that back up. Or if you can't lift like you did before, you're going to be hurting. But see, the thing about me, somebody who knows that they're worthy, it doesn't fucking matter. Like when I say it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. When I got my first little gray hair like last year, I'm maybe 20 pounds heavier than I was last year. I'm gassing it. But still, like shit like that, I don't give a fuck. I still think I'm deserving. I still think that I'm worthy. Baby, you're not going to change nothing over here. You want to know why? Because I know the truth. Literally, it was like, it's so insane. I think, y'all think I'm crazy when I say this, but I think it was low-key a privilege that I got bullied in middle school because I got to do a test, right? For all my newbies out there, y'all don't know this story, but my moderators do. When I was in middle school, right, I was a tough kid my whole life, okay? I grew up, okay, my grandmother was a thug, okay, my dad is a thug. It's interesting, okay? I have a really interesting family, right? So I have my tough side and I have my regular side, but yeah. I was a tough girl. I was the type of girl where basically a girl would come up to me and say, I don't like you. And I would, you know what I'm saying? I was that type of girl up until I got into like maybe 5th grade, right? And I still made my toughness, right? But I had to start to cool down because I had got these guys in my life, my 2 teachers who I call my school dads. Hi, Silly Billy. Oh my God, I missed you so bad. I'm so happy you're here. I have my little two school dads, right? And with them, they try to get me away from my, what you say, type of attitude. You know what I'm saying? And my sixth grade year, basically, my teacher was trying to set me up to basically show the staff that I was like a good kid. Because I was like very, very smart. I've always been smart. But sometimes my anger could get the best of me. Okay. And so I had my second school dad. Okay. I was in anger management class, by the way. Second school dad, he was just like, listen, my nickname was Debo. Okay. He was like, Debo, listen, for your seventh grade year, I want to send you downstairs with the regular ed kids. I want to put you down there with them. Okay. But you have to prove to the staff that you can operate okay down there. You can't be going off on people. You gotta chill out because I'm trying to set you up for success. Because mind you, I was out testing the regular ed kids. They thought because I was in anger management that I was stupid, and I was supposed to be stupid, but them test scores don't lie. Amen. And so my teacher was like, okay, the boys who are you are in here with, because I was the only girl in my class, the boys that you're in here with, they're falling a little bit behind. You are excelling though. I can't really keep up with the curriculum. I need you to be down there with what the other students are doing because they're not waiting behind for students. They're just gonna keep moving on to the next thing. And that's what you need. And so I went down there and he was like, listen, Debo, show them that you can do it, because the principal, the teachers, they all wanted me to fail because they couldn't believe that the anger management girl was doing better than the regular ed kids, right? And so I get down there and literally it's so interesting. From I think I had started there around my either fourth or fifth grade year. Can't remember exactly, but I'll say fifth grade to be safe. From fifth grade to sixth grade, okay, I beat a girl's ass the first week that I got there. Nobody fucked with me, okay? Nobody fucked with me. It was her fault. She provoked me. I didn't do anything, right? From fifth grade to sixth grade, nobody messed with me besides the adults who were trying to get me to fail. My seventh grade year, with my school dad telling me, Debo, don't act the fool. The transition was insane. When I say insane, people who have never really spoken to me, people who would never try me, people who would never say anything to me, all of a sudden their mouths are moving faster than Roadrunner. Everybody has an issue with Coy. Everybody wants to talk to Coy. Everybody has Coy's name in their mouths. Now that Coy can't beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? And the transition, the observation of it, y'all, I've always been a people watcher. The observation of this, me being the test subject, insane. I don't. Oh, the 8-year-old that I'm worried. Love you, gotta listen and hear it. Thanks, Gigi. I appreciate it. And so it's the 360, and I've never experienced anything like that in my life, y'all. When I say never, I've never. Like, all of a sudden, everybody wants to fight me. People are saying stuff about me. People got things to say. Y'all, they went as far as to throw books and pencils at me. Because without me saying anything, I never said anything. I didn't befriend anybody. I was only down there for 2 classes. Only there to just do my work and move on. I was keeping quiet. I was minding my business because I know me. I knew me. And so this was the perfect observation of me to be able to recognize that when you act like prey, people treat you like prey. And when people are threatened by you, they will seek any opportunity that they can to project that threatened feeling onto you. I had boys who swore up and down that I was fat and ugly and they couldn't stand me, and all, just I'm not provoking anybody. I'm not bothering anybody. I'm minding my business. They got all this stuff going on. Everybody wants to fight me. And I lasted, y'all will be very proud of me. I lasted the entire school year with that bullshit, right? Until probably around the last month. And I told my school dad, his name was Lingo. I told Lingo, I said, Lingo, after a friend of mine turned against me, because she was always a follower, after a friend of mine turned against me and joined the Mean Girl crew and tried to fight me in class, I went to Lingo and I said, Lingo, if you don't get her, if you don't get me out of here, I'm going to get everyone. I didn't say it exactly like that, but the tone was the same. He knew I was perfectly serious. I was like, if you don't get me out of here, you think you've seen me cause a scene before? I have animosity building up. I've been building this up for months. And not only am I going to get them all, I'm going to get them all strategically so you would know it wasn't me. You would know, but nobody would be able to prove it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a few screws, maybe a little loose on me, right? And he's like, all right, Devo, let me get you out of here, right? So he got me out. I was back in my regular class, but at that point, it didn't really matter. School year was over. But literally in that moment, though, when I got to do all that observing, I just got to realize, like, oh my God, I give a fuck about your opinions. Why? Watch the 360, right? 8th grade year comes around. All the boys who said that I was ugly and they didn't like me, they're asking me out. When I switched back over from being quiet and minding my business to back to being myself, amen, all asking me out. All the girls, they don't have anything to say. And if they are saying something, I can't hear it. They might be snickering on the side. But they made sure that my ears didn't hear the words finalized. Do you understand? When I would get off the school bus, they would be standing there quietly, no words. The moment I step off the bus, the chatter has begun. The whispers have begun. I'm a celebrity. I'm a celebrity. These are the motherfuckers I was worried about? These are the motherfuckers whose opinions I cared about? Hold on. Make sure I got everybody. This is what I was all up in my feelings about? Like, them? Like, you're not passing this class. You can't read. You can't solve a simple math question. You're a virgin. You never dated anybody in your life. You don't know who your daddy is. You don't even like yourself. You're a follower. Nobody wants nor likes you. The same kids who were trying to tell me that I was stupid and all this extra stuff were the same kids in my classroom getting taught by my teacher literacy. Opening up books for 5th graders because they're so behind. These are the opinion. And when I opened up, I was like, you realize these are the people who lack and they have to project things onto you. And I tell y'all all the time, when you have confidence and worthiness in yourself, oh my gosh, it all lines up. It all happens for you. It changes the literal trajectory of your life. Thank you. Yep. Once again, y'all, quick reminder, the moderators are swift and you will get the fuck up out of here immediately. So don't be weird. And if you have something bigoted to say, keep it to yourself because I don't care. Literally everything shifted and you can just tell. You notice it immediately. I was telling y'all on the last live, people who are hateful, people who project, people who say mean, disrespectful, nasty things, they usually are not smart or they're lacking something. For instance, I use misogyny as a perfect example since Silly Billy brought it up a little bit. Men like to tell women, oh, that's fatherless behavior. Look at her, fatherless behavior. Are you blaming me because a grown man failed in his responsibilities in fatherhood? I was a child. And my father, a grown man, didn't step up to the plate. He failed me as a parent, and it's my fault. Oh, plus size women, they don't deserve love. Nobody wants them. Nobody cares about them because they're fat. Are you sad because all the men that you've ever dated only wanted you for your body? Are you angry because you've never known real love except for it being attraction to your physical? Are you angry because nobody wants to see you beyond a picture? Nobody cares to listen to you when you speak. Is that what that is? I never understood the whole bullying the nerd trope. Very weird. You're bullying somebody because they're smart. I've never understood that. You're bullying somebody because they're smart. You're bullying somebody because they're smart. Oh, look at the nerd. We're making fun of intelligence. That's how I knew I just never could be a bully. The nonsense is there's too much and not enough going on. And what do I mean by that? Okay? Too much nonsense, not enough sense. Right? And what I like to say, oh, I will use Ivan as a perfect example. Oh my gosh, look at this. Idiot. Okay? Fool. I bet you he can't even spell invigorating. I bet you. Anybody can call somebody a big bag. I know that I'm a big bag, Ivan. I mean, I know that. Okay? I've always known that. But once again, Ivan, I will always shine. I will always be the sun. You will always be the cockroaches in the sewer. You know? But people like him, right? See, Ivan believes that beauty and self-worth and self-confidence and, humanity is transactional. He thinks that if he calls me fat, that for one, my fat ass won't already know that I'm fat. That's number one. And number two, that I'm going to go and cry now because he called me fat, as if I don't see my fine fat ass in the mirror every single day. Every day, Ivan. And this is what I be saying. People who lack intelligence, right? Ivan, obviously, he's not blind, right? Because he can see me. But for some reason, he thought that the observation that he made about me was like genius. Genius. He really thought he pulled a fast one with that. Like that's like the peak of his intelligence, right? That's his Mount Everest right there. Like he literally couldn't say anything else. That's all he has. He couldn't contribute anything educational, informative to the conversation. That's all he could do was point out the obvious. I'm not really sure. Let me make sure I get to y'all stuff because I don't want to miss anybody. So, Billy, you're so hilarious. I will get to that question in the second, squad, because I literally just got done watching Demon Slayer. It just made me realize that there's always been a hint of anti-election. Yep, in the air. Yes, there is. Because the funny thing is that I always tell people all the time that you can't be hateful and smart/confident. You just can't. You just can't. I've been around smart, confident people. They don't consume themselves with other people's nonsense or other people's lives. They just don't. Somebody who is smart and understands their worth, right? They don't consume themselves with other people's lives. They just fucking don't. Why would I do that? I have a life. My life is so all-consuming. I'm so consumed with myself that I have no room for you. Like, I'm not sitting around wondering how much Lizzo weighs. I don't care. Like, I don't care so much that I didn't even remember who Lizzo was until right now. Confident people, fulfilled people, I'll say it like that, fulfilled people don't go around spreading hatred, because hatred requires investment, right? You have to be invested in some way, shape, or form, right? I personally, as somebody who's never been a loser, I've never gone out in public, looked at a person and was just like, oh my God, can you believe? Look at that super skinny person right there. Look at that person. Look at that little person over there. Look at that person over there. Like, oh, look at them. Oh my gosh, my whole day is ruined. Could you imagine how consuming that is? I would much rather spend that time thinking about the multiple businesses I'm going to start in the future. Right? I would much rather think about all the companies I'm going to want to work with. Right? My live topics to talk about. See, I have a life. The thing I'm going to get for my best friend for her birthday. What I'm going to cook for Thanksgiving. These are things that consume me. Because, see, I don't need to be feeding off of other people's life. because they don't really interest me more than my own. But see, haters and bigots stuff like that, they're not really smart enough to realize that you're just embarrassing yourself. And you're showing everybody that you have no interest in your life, right? Or you're lacking somewhere in your life. So you feel this over consuming, overwhelming, like urge to let everybody know how miserable you are. And I don't understand that personally. I'm like, maybe in like Loser Universe on Loser Street in the Loser Basement, that's normal, but I just don't get that. I've never voluntarily let people know that I'm miserable. You get what I'm saying? But they do that. It's kind of like when I be watching misogynistic men, like incels, tell the world that they don't get laid. I don't understand how you are doing that. And you're not embarrassed. Where is shame? Is it because you're surrounded by other people who are just like you? But even them, I just can't understand it, truly. Is it Sherry? Hi, Sherry or Shari. Hi, Ghost. Steve, how do you know what's nonsense and what's not? Honestly, I don't know how to really answer that, because if something doesn't make sense, it's nonsense. I don't want to be mean because you might have been being serious about your question, but yeah. But yeah, it's just like you're just showing that projection of what you lack. So for instance, if somebody's angry about you getting married, they're angry that they're not getting married. If someone is angry that you're in a loving relationship, they're not in a good relationship or not in a relationship at all, and they wish that they were. If somebody's angry that you're rich, just for you just being wealthy, you're not flaunting your money, you're not bragging, you're not making fun of those underneath or whatever the hell, you're just living your life, and they have a visceral reaction to you just living your well-off life. They're angry that they don't have any money. People are mad that you're smart or informed. They believe that you're bragging or you're a know-it-all just because you just happen to know facts. It's because they don't know any facts. They're not smart. Probably didn't finish high school. It is what it is. People who are angry because you're confident, you walk into the room like you own it, they're just angry because they don't have those types of things. See, I'm the type of person that I've never walked into a room that I don't dominate. And what I mean by dominate, my dominating is not in the same way that people think, right? When I walk into a room, I'm not the type of person to command everybody's attention immediately, right? I'm the type of person who, I'm kind of like how you would say, I hate using this comparison, but I will because it's funny. I'm like a silent fart, right? You don't know that I'm there until eventually I fill up the entire room and everybody's like, what the fuck was that? When did that get here? When did that happen? See, I don't need it to happen right away. I know that it's going to happen eventually. And the first time that I enter a space, when people know me, eventually, the next time I enter that space, well, I will be the person to light up the room. Right? Because see, my confidence is not, oh my God, everybody look at me. It's, wow. You remember that girl that we had met at, what's her name? She was so sweet. She was so funny. She was so nice. I've never been in workspaces or around people who don't miss me. I don't know what that's like. When I'm gone for a day, people are just like, oh my God, Koi, I miss you so much. I missed your laugh. I missed your voice. What was you doing? Where was you going? Where were you this whole time? People go out of their way for me without me even trying. Do you understand what I'm saying? I get people who come up to me, random strangers, and tell me how amazing I'm going to be. People who I barely know saying, I don't really know you, but I just feel like you're going to do something great. That is just my confidence oozing off of me. And I take the compliments. Thank you. I appreciate them. But at the exact same time, I know. I know. You'll never be able to convince me that I'm not deserving of love. Huh? Baby, my mother has been married. She has 4 kids. She's been a big back as long as I know big backs have been alive. Hello? My dad has only ever dated big women. Hello? Thank you, silly, but I appreciate that. I enjoy watching myself do great things as well. That was so fucking cocky for me to say, but I don't care. I also enjoy it. It brings me happiness, brings me joy. But you know what the funny thing is? I also enjoy watching other people be successful. Why? Because I have success myself. I'm confident myself. There's something that I actually had heard the other day is that when you're someone who feels so close to something, like you can't let it go, you can't like, you know what I'm saying? You're like stuck to it. Like imagine like an opportunity that you really thought that you should have got, you could never let it go. That's your future self living that life and kind of like sending those notes back to you. Thanks, Lily. You are so sweet. I freaking love you, girl. Sending those notes back to you. And I'm such a visualizer. Call it delusion, call it whatever the fuck you want, right? But I'm such a visualizer that I believe that I will have those things and I can visualize myself already doing them. Like I can literally visualize myself in my nice high-rise apartment with my cute little pets and me going out with my besties and looking cute in a little outfit. Like I can see all of that. Like I just know that it's gonna happen. You wanna know why? Because I'm me. I'm deserving. One of my favorite creators, her name is Cupid. I think I talked about her on here. She literally even has said that she has haters like who come in her life sometimes, and they'll literally be like, you don't deserve a bag. You don't deserve to travel. You don't deserve to have all this money and da 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 da. And she'll be like, she'll be like, well, nobody told God that. Exactly. You sitting here praying on my downfall, it won't happen because God always has my back. Even when I'm at my lowest points in my life, I walk around like I'm that person. Like the way that I walk into spaces, the way that I am, like certain things don't, I guess you could say, shake me. You know what I'm saying? It takes very much to shake me, right? Because I already believe that I'm deserving of those things. So this is what that confidence and that self-worth looks like, right? If somebody was to offer me $10,000 right now, I would be happy about it. I would be grateful about it, right? But I wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's $10,000. I'd have been like, oh, $10,000. Great. I know exactly where I can go. Because that type of money, baby, I'm going to touch something so beyond that. You're going to have to impress me with 10 million. Like, that's what's really going to be like, oh my gosh, that's great. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know I'm gonna be in those spaces. When I walk into certain rooms, I wish I would have remembered or known to make like the ADHD adventures last year because I went on tours to like luxury apartments. And when I walked into the luxury apartment on a little tour and stuff, because I like to do that sometimes just to, get a feel of what I want when I get there, right? Walked through the luxury apartments and I didn't feel out of place at all. Nope. Felt right at home, actually. Right at home. As a matter of fact, when I was walking through one of the places, they had a pool. And I looked at it and I was like, this pool is tiny. It's just small. Y'all got these nice sitting areas. Okay, the apartment is interesting. I don't like the carpet. Oh, this all you have for your lounge? This is it? Like, this is the type of, this is the type of stuff. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't know if I'm gonna be anything for Halloween. I might just be myself. Hey, I might be a serial killer, look like everybody else. But like I think about that all the time. Even like being in a luxury car. I remember I got picked up in a luxury vehicle. I think it was like a Mercedes Benz or something really nice. I think it was a Benz, like a brand new Benz. Last year when I had the year before last when I had attended like the Black Excellence thing. My boss, his boyfriend, picked us up in his Benz, and I got in that car and I was like, this is how I like to live, baby. This feels perfectly natural to me. This feels wonderful. This is exactly where I want to be. Right? I've never flown on a plane. Never. But something about economy just doesn't feel right. Something about economy just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. I think I deserve the best. I think that I deserve everything in the world. I'm deserving of it all. And that all comes from worthiness. Understanding your worthiness, knowing that you're deserving of your worthiness. I deserve everything. I'm grateful for what I get. I'll say like this. I'm thankful, but not technically grateful. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm thankful, but not necessarily grateful because I deserve it. I earned it. It's mine. And that's why I hate when people say be humble. Because unless I'm being a condescending prick who's like trying to make people feel less than by gloating and trying to make myself seem like I'm better or whatever, I don't understand the whole being humble thing. Like, I don't like it when people try to demonize people for being smart or demonize people for being well off or whatever. I've never been threatened by that type of stuff. And like, I just don't think that it's weird. If I'm saying something wrong, right? I'm some type of person where I don't like to look like a dumbass. So if you see me pronouncing something wrong or I got the wrong definition or whatever, and you correct me, as long as you're not doing it in a mocking way to make it seem like I'm an idiot, I see no reason why I should be upset about you correcting me. Thank you, Celia. You are always hyping me up, girl. I love you so bad. But like, I don't see a problem with that. But people be like, don't try to go around gloating that you're smart. Why not? I hate it when people try to tell someone not to compliment themselves too. It makes me so mad. Like when somebody gives you a compliment and like somebody's like, say for instance, somebody comes up to you and it's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. You can say thank you and not be an asshole, but saying in the mirror or saying back, I know I'm so pretty. I don't think that that's condescending unless you're trying to be rude to somebody. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you're beautiful, why do I have to act like I didn't know I was pretty in order to accept the compliment? You know what I'm saying? Same thing, somebody's like, oh, you're so well spoken. I know. If I went to college and, and given seminars, I know that I'm well spoken. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with me acknowledging those things about myself? But people try to make it seem like, oh, don't try to be like a know it all. Don't try to be. Why not? If you know that you're smart, you're smart. If you know that you're beautiful, you're beautiful. If you know that you're wealthy, you're wealthy. I don't see the problem with somebody acknowledging that about themselves. Now, obviously, tone and how they announce it and how they say something is definitely, important. But at the exact same time, if somebody just acknowledges those things, I don't think that they have to be humble. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're acknowledging it, then you know that they're those things. So what's wrong with them knowing that they're also those things? You know what I'm saying? But maybe it's just from a mindset of somebody who does have overwhelming confidence, somebody who does believe in worthiness and, complimenting myself. And Silly Billy pointed it out. My love language is words of affirmations and things like that, right? So it's like, I don't know. Like once again, I haven't had no confidence in myself since I was a child. So going over a decade at this point of having love and worthiness, something that I gained all on my own. Well, I want to say all on my own. I had a wonderful mother. It's just it's something crazy. Starboy, wasn't you in the live a couple of times ago? I could have swore I seen y'all. Y'all know I'm terrible with names, but I think that I get them photos down. Don't change your profile pictures on me. I will forget. Starboy, I think I saw you in a few lives ago. If so, welcome back. Love to you as well. But yes, you have to do that. And I tell you all the time, it changes the trajectory of your life to the point where it affects everything. When you believe that you are worthy, it affects everything. Like I was literally thinking about it the other day where I just got done watching the series Orange is the New Black. I'm so fucking mad I watched that show. That show pissed me off. Pissed me off. Okay, I watched it when I started watching when I was a kid, when I was much younger, back in the day, and then I stopped on like the 5th season or so. Maybe the 6th season. I stopped, and so I wanted to finish it. So I started from beginning to end. Show pissed me off. Okay, should have left that shit in the past. Okay, but I was watching it, and outside of all the fucking bullshit I was watching, one of the things that really got me was people who like were really bad, like drug addicts and stuff, right? And how people were kind of just talking about their life story and how they said they fell from their families and all that stuff. And then watching like some of the ladies kind of like, I don't want to say messing up their lives, but like going above and beyond to try to help them and figure it out, everything like that. And I literally said in my head, I was just like, I would never do that. Yesy, well, damn. Silly Billy is swift. But I do want to acknowledge you really quickly. Yesy, I don't know who forced you into the live. I don't know what you paid to get into here. But like one of my favorite creators says, whatever you paid, let me know. Send a receipt and we'll give you a refund. Okay? What would you like, please? Anyways, I was looking at that and I was just like, I could never see myself doing that. Did it? Oh shit, it changed. It literally said Silly Billy it did. It changed to Yana. Quick. Both y'all be moving so damn fast. I can't keep up with time. Y'all be moving so fast. I love y'all so bad. But I was like, I would never do that. Like even when it came down to children, I saw like some stuff where people was going out of their way, getting in trouble with their kids. Like Daya, her mama, she's over there, doing drugs and selling and stuff like that. And the mama's trying to get her on the right path. She's trying to like fix her and everything like that and help her and stuff her. And I literally was looking like I could never see myself doing that. I just can't. I'm not about to consume my life with trying to help you. And it goes into the whole idea of you can't want something for somebody more than they want it for themselves, right? And when you want it, you'll do it. At the end of the day, that's just what it is. If you want it, you'll do it. If you don't do it, you don't want it yet. You don't want it bad enough. You're not tired yet, right? And so I thought about that and I even put myself in their shoes and was just like, my best friends, my sister, anybody, if they were in a lifestyle where I've already tried to help and they wouldn't get out of it, they just want to stay, I will slowly remove myself from that. And it's not because I don't care. It's not because I don't love them. It's not because I don't want the best for them. It's just that I refuse to let somebody else's choices consume my life. Right? I love myself too much for that. I care about myself too much for that. And I would much rather grieve you now while you're making the bad choices that will affect me if something was to happen to you. I'd much rather grieve you now while you're alive in the middle of your bad choices than grieve you at the end result of your bad choices on top of me being involved in said bad choices, right? So, for instance, like say if you were on drugs and then I tried to help you, you fucked me over or whatever the hell, let's just say a year later you OD on those drugs. Well, the year that you fucked me over, I cut myself off from you completely. I grieved you then. So when that time eventually comes, I really wouldn't feel much. And it's not because I never cared. It's just because I cannot let myself get consumed with that because at the end of the day, you only get one life. And people try to make it seem like you're being selfish and all this extra stuff. But honestly, anything that you do beyond like really what you're obligated to do or beyond, anything for yourself, that is you being extra kind or overly nice or just a super, I don't know, involved, nice person. But the default is you're supposed to care about yourself first. And I always like to think about it like this. You cannot fill up somebody else's cup if your cup is not full, right? So you have to think about yourself first. And so when it comes to that, Desiree, is that who I think that is? Is that Desiree? Oh my God. Sorry, I got distracted. I used to work with her. Literally like my damn sister. Loved her. If that's her, because I'm pretty sure it's her, but I don't remember if her last name was Evans. Can't remember. But literally, you got to put yourself first because you only get one life. What was that statistic? 1 in 400 trillion? 1 in 400 trillion chance you get to be born. So you have to consider yourself first in all aspects of your life. Truly. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. And knowing that, I apply that to everything that I do. I have to make sure that I'm happy with where my life is. I have to be happy with what I'm doing. I have to be happy as much as I can. You don't get a lot of happy moments in this life. So I try to reserve as many as I can. Okay? I have to stock up. I gotta make a stockpile of happiness. For when bad things happen, I can handle them. Right? And I'm the type of person where I care about myself so much and my happiness and my worth is so important to me that I won't let anything or anyone jeopardize that. No, I guess your name is Desiree, but yeah, you're not the person I was looking for. But yeah, that's how her name was spelled and her name was pronounced Desiree. So, anyways, literally that's how I had to think about life. And that's how I kind of started to live. And the more I've done that, the happier I've been. And I tell people all the time, I tell y'all all the time, like, once you solidify that, like that your ultimate happiness is the most important, you realize how easy it is to make decisions in your life. It's so easy. Like things that used to be hard as a recovering people pleaser, things that used to be hard aren't hard anymore because it's ultimately the goal is keep yourself happy as long as you're here. As long as you gotta stay here, as many times as God wake you up in the morning, keep yourself as happy as you can, right? Put yourself first, and that's not selfish. It's just not. It's not selfish or self-centered to put yourself first. You have to. That is even included in things like motherhood. I don't have a mom. No, I don't have a mom. I have a mom. I don't have kids. I don't have kids, right? But hearing from my mother and seeing the things that she given up, because she used to give us lectures all day, all night about do not become young mothers. She was on us hard about that because she would tell us about all the things that she had to do, all the sacrifices she had to make, right? But when it comes down to even motherhood, when you take care of yourself, your children naturally is affected by that. You know what I'm saying? They're naturally affected. So if you decided, I'm gonna take this time to eat breakfast and let you cry, well, now mommy's not cranky because she's hungry. She took those little 10 minutes to eat some breakfast and just let the baby cry. And now she's full, she has nutrition, and now she can deal with whatever the hell's going on with you. Same thing with if you're tired. Maybe something my auntie used to do. If she was tired and wanted a nap, everybody's going to bed. Okay? Everybody's taking a nap. I don't care if you're tired. You're getting locked in this bedroom with me. Now, when I wake up, I'm rested. I'm ready to take on the day. I'm ready to deal with whatever you got going on. You got to put yourself first because that's the most important thing. If you're not taken care of, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Or taken care of, you can't put that onto other people. But once again, when you're confident in yourself, these things are easy. Even including just knowing when to choose you, right? And when to choose somebody else. You'll be confident in yourself that, for instance, in myself, I know that I would never become self-centered. I know that I would never become one of the people who I don't care about anybody and oh, the only person who matters is me. I would never be like that because I'm confident in who I am. I know me. I know I got to put myself first because if I don't, I will dwindle quickly. Social battery will be gone. And then I can't help nobody because I can't even help myself. I got to put myself in positions where it's going to be helpful. I got to put myself in places where I'm going to be able to actually grow and feel good and feel grounded. And especially for my neurodivergents out there, especially for y'all, maintaining your mental balance. I'm such a Libra. Maintaining your mental balance is so freaking important because we already have a chemical imbalance in our brain, right? Nothing wrong with us, but that's just the gist of it, right? And if you're anything like me, one day you can be feeling great, and then the next day you feel like everything is terrible, and you don't want to be here, and everything sucks. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Like I literally have been able to realize how important all that stuff is from me just observing myself mainly. Because if you don't look at yourself, baby, how you gonna help anybody else? How you gonna be looking at other people if you're not looking at you? You know what I'm saying? And me recognizing that has made me such, I don't necessarily just say a better person because I wasn't terrible before, but like it has made me a stronger person, a more resilient person, a more understanding person. And this is something that I wanted to talk to y'all about too, was I had to reframe how I thought of the word consistency. I had to reframe that because consistency, it's a word that will trap me for years. Okay. And I'm still growing from it and trying to get better. But like that word used to consume me so bad because what I used to think what consistency was that, oh, I just keep doing something and I don't stop. Never stop. You gotta keep doing it because how are you consistent if you're stopping? How are you consistent? You can't be consistent if you stop. You can't. But I had saw a picture. Let me see if I can find it. I saw a picture of like these row of cups. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. I saw it on TikTok. Here it is. Hopefully y'all can see that. But the top part is what I thought consistency was. And it's backwards, but it says what people think consistency is versus what consistency actually is, right? It's literally giving as much as you can. As much as you can with every single day. But I want to go a little bit further than that and just change the meaning in general. Consistency applies in a different way to me now. Just had this realization a couple of days ago. As I was thinking about how I've been having issues. Yeah, I love this visual so much. How I was having issues with like posting on YouTube consistently, right? And I was looking at it, and I once again, I'm recovering from it, y'all. Know that I'm never perfect. Okay, the things that I tell y'all, I'm either actively doing them, or just started them, or I've already learned them, right? But I was just thinking about it when it came down to posting on YouTube, right? And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all all the time, every time, right? As a neurodivergent, we have, at least me, with mood disorder and ADHD, I have ups and downs. Okay, my chemical imbalance be kicking my ass sometimes, right? Sometimes I'm on the high, and especially if I'm dealing with PMDD, which is like a harsher version than PMS. If you have ADHD or ADD or whatever, it's like a worse version, right? Higher suicidal thoughts, greater depression, things like that. I was thinking about how I don't post on YouTube consistently all the time, and it's like I'll be looking like, I gotta get a video, I gotta get a video, I gotta get a video. It has to happen. I have to post. I have to, and because I always put this pressure on myself to be like, you gotta do it, because then you're gonna disappoint everybody. And I will consume myself with that, but then I had to sit with myself and think like, but when you get to a certain point where you're feeling overwhelmed, or you're feeling like not yourself, or you're mentally just not there, you're forcing yourself to post consistently, but then the quality is not the same. And you know how people say pick your hard? You got to pick your hard. You got to pick which one you want. Either, whatever you're not changing, you're choosing, stuff like that, right? I had to realize I had to pick my consistency. And I don't know if y'all have noticed it, but I have, right? When I'm starting to get mentally burned out, right before I'm about to probably go on hiatus for a little bit, I noticed the quality of my videos drop. And I don't mean necessarily in the sense of like my videos are bad or the ideas that I have are bad, but it could just be just because it's me and I know me internally, but it be feeling like my energy is off. Like I'm not as naturally bubbly or fun or having so much to say. I'm more so like quiet, reserved in my, I'm not looking like myself. I'm not really acting like myself. It's like slowly I'm not giving as much as I usually would. You know what I'm saying? And I might be I might be just be me overthinking it, but I don't think that I am. When I really like sit back and look at it, I'd be like, my quality of my videos are not producing in the way that I really want. I'm not as happy as I usually would be. I'm not as into it as I usually would be. And now it begs the question, what do I think is more important? The quality of my videos or the quantity? What do I want to consistently do? Put out just videos, or do I want to put out good videos? Do I just want to put out product, or do I want it to be good product? And I'm a heavy holder of this belief to practice what you preach. And I tell you all the time how to maintain your mental health and take care of it and making sure that you stay on your roller coaster and stuff like that. And I really had to reapply that stuff to me, because one thing I want to be with y'all is real and raw, because I want y'all to understand that I'm human just like you. Even if I tell you something or tell you to be comfortable, whatever, I still have my low days and stuff like that, things that are out of my control. And I be having to realize, if my brain is telling me, hey, I'm not here for it today, I gotta listen. Because as y'all have seen, those who have been following me since last year, y'all know, baby, I was pumping them videos out, just putting them out, and then I took a 6-week hiatus. That wasn't on me. I didn't take the hiatus took me. I was kidnapped. Right? I was kidnapped to a point where my brain could only process the bare minimum. And literally, I had to sit back and think like, yo, you have to change your thought process when it comes down to consistency. And now I have. And so what I've chosen for my consistency is keeping my mental health as balanced as I can. That's within my control. That will remain constant. And producing quality content that not only do I believe in, but I love. I know that a video doesn't turn out the way that I want it to if I don't watch it. Because I watch all my shit. Like, repeated. Okay, I am my biggest supporter. I am my biggest fan. Okay, Silly Billy, I'm coming for you. I am my biggest supporter. Like, I literally rewatch. I don't think y'all understand how often I rewatch my shorts, how often I rewatch my long form. Like, when I believe in what I do, which I believe in the content that I produce now, like, I am an avid rewatcher. When I'm editing it, it takes me a million years to edit because I'm literally rewatching the video as I edit. Like, girl, you know, baby, as an ADHD, we love to repeat, right? And when I don't feel moved to watch a video, if I don't like it or whatever, I won't watch it. And the more that happens, the more I realize, okay, something about this isn't right. And I literally just took that approach now with the reason why I haven't posted any long form in a couple of weeks is because it's just like those videos, sometimes the ideas are fun and I love filming them. Do not get me wrong. I love that. Filming is my life, right? Social media is my life. Videos is my life. Entertainment is my life. But I didn't feel like I was fully myself in those videos. And it's because I was losing a piece of myself when it came down to, I don't know, like I guess not feeling appreciated or not by y'all, but like just not being able to produce more or get more traction or whatever. Things would kind of be like, I don't know. Or just me thinking, maybe this isn't that best of an idea, or maybe this isn't as great. What I love about the series, though, it is like trial and error. It's meant to be trial and error. I think I'm going to make like a flop folder where one day I'm going to have y'all like vote on some videos that y'all think should be in the flop folder, ones that were flops and ones that were great, right? But like I started to realize that I was just putting out videos without feeling attached to them, and it could be the empathetic part of me. It could be just me being a freaking empath fully, and always wanting to feel like I gotta feel connected to something. Gosh, my mom so funny, maybe all spiritual and stuff, but I have to believe in it. I have to trust it. I have to feel it. It has to be something that I think about more than once a day. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to really think that this is amazing and I love it. I'm not just doing it just because I have to. It's something that I also applied to my like personal life, like not even just filming, like even with like jobs and stuff like that. I have to love it. I have to be in love with it. I have to feel like this is me, or at the very least, I have to be content, or I can't stay. And I just saw a video on TikTok the other day where somebody had put like a prompt up and she was on a train. And basically, she was like, I don't care if I have to start over 1,000,000 times. I'm never going to pursue the life that I don't want. And that hit me hard because that's me. I tell myself all the time, I am not caring how uncomfortable it makes me. I don't care how sad I gotta be. I don't care how terrible it's going to turn out. I don't care. If I'm not liking the way that my story is being written, I'm going to flip the page, scratch that off, flip the page, and write something else. I will leave that chapter where it lies and start a whole new chapter. Start completely over to get me to the life that I want. And I don't really be knowing what I be doing a lot of the times. But once again, that's where the confidence comes in. That's where the confidence comes in. I just do it. It's going to work out eventually. It's going to work out somehow. Has to. You know what I'm saying? It has to. But I refuse to sit in a life where I don't feel good about it, where I don't feel connected to it. I hate feeling hollow. And I think that's like my hell. Like hollowness is my hell. I don't ever want to feel like I didn't believe in that. I didn't like that. I didn't want that. I stayed with it because I felt like I had to. No. And I saw somebody comment on that video and they literally was like, when they was like quoted somebody saying this to them, like, "Oh, you're not afraid to start over," and their reply was, "No, I'm just happy that I can. I'm just happy that I can." Hi, Clean Mom. Hi, Cam. Even though I think that I saw you earlier, but literally that hit me because I was like, "Yeah, I'm just grateful that I can just keep starting over. I ain't dead. I ain't dead yet." So I get to just keep starting over until I get the life that I want. And something that I'm learning, and I'll like divulge in this a little bit later, maybe next year sometime. Something that I'm learning is that when you're like at rock bottom, hi Melissa, when you're at rock bottom, or when you're just stuck with a clean slate, if you will, you just have this new fresh mind. Because I made choices in my life recently that have kind of just changed my trajectory, and it's not going exactly how I want. However, nothing that hasn't been crazy before hasn't made sense later, right? But I made those jumps, I made those choices spontaneously because I was unhappy. And coming down from where I was, I'm just looking around and I'm just like, whoa, all this opened up for me. All this has happened. Like, and like you just have a clear mind. And it is a feeling of clarity that I've never experienced before. And it was like, huh? I had to get here in order for that to happen. In order for me to have that mindset. Listen, I am doing pretty well because I'm here talking to y'all. I'm talking to y'all. Decided to have a rest day today. Rest this Sunday. Just get my mind right, relax, and hopefully bring some happiness and some joy and some fulfillment to y'all. But the clarity is something I've never experienced. And it was almost like I was in like this mental fog for years. Thanks, Bacon. I appreciate it. And this mental fog for years where I just couldn't put my finger on what was wrong. I was just like, maybe it's just the ADHD. ADHD have symptoms of anxiety and depression. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just a lingering depression. But literally, I remember I had like a depression for like 3 years. I was like, what is that? It's not necessarily my jobs. My jobs is not what's getting me, no. Friends is fine, no. And granted, I did change some things in my life, some aspects, but even still, no. It wasn't until I did something like really spontaneous and dramatic that I was just like, bitch! I found her! I have discovered her. I would have never had that clarity if I didn't just boop, do. And one of the quotes that I love to use in my everyday life is do it while you're scared. Do it when you're fucking terrified because you're never not going to be scared. You're never not going to be terrified. Like, like there's never going to be a time that you're not. I actually like to use an example of when I was driving, helping my little sister drive. She literally would tell me every single time we driving together. She'd be like, "No, Coy, I can't do that. I'm anxious. It's nerve wracking. It's scary." I'm like, "Yeah, it's gonna be nerve wracking and scary. You're not gonna like it till you like it. You're not gonna like it till you like it. But in order for you to like it, you gotta do it. You gotta try it. It's gonna be scary." I was like, "Do you think that I just got on the road and I was just like, yeah, boom?" Like, no. I was that motherfucker like, okay, if I stay in the right lane. Like, when you do stuff, you're gonna be scared no matter what. But just like choose your hard, you gotta choose your scared. And staying in a place where I don't want to be because I'm too afraid to take the leap is way more terrifying. Like, I would look at people's lives and listen, I don't hate on anybody. Do what you want to do, whatever your life is, whatever you're enjoying, whatever. But hi, Michael. When I literally was at certain jobs, I would talk to certain people, and I was like one of my old managers. They'll be like on the verge of being 60. And they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I've been at this company for 30 years. Now, if this is what you love to do, by all means. But when I would hear their answers, it wouldn't be what they love to do. It would be what they thought was convenient. I get a pension, I have benefits, it pays for this, pays for that, decent schedule, I can take care of my family, da da da. And when I tell you that their stories used to terrify me, not even used to, they still do. Any single time I would hear it, so you settled? You didn't have any aspirations, you didn't have any dreams, you didn't want to do anything? I'm not saying that this can't be, you know what I'm saying? This can't be what you love to do, but when you talk about it, it's not. And it's different when you're talking to somebody who has dreams and aspirations, like in life, and it can be a regular 9 to 5. Like I told you about the banker at Chase who had been a loan officer in like the business sector for like 25 years, and he literally was like, "Yeah, I've been doing this for 25 years because I love what I do." You could see the brightness and the passion in him when he was talking about it. Now that's something different. But just talking to somebody who's been in the company for 30 years and you just done it because you didn't want to take a leap, you didn't want to take a risk. How could you do that? Terrifying. Terrifying, baby. I would much rather base jump than imagine that being 40 and knowing that I could have made a choice back when I was 20 that I didn't because I was scared. And to me, the other thing is way more terrifying. Even though 40 isn't old, I would much rather have that clarity when I'm 23 or 24, just turned 24, than when I'm middle aged, I guess you could say, and just now finding that clarity, because that's a time. Michael, you commented a couple of times. Happy birthday, fellow Libra. Isn't it? Yeah, until 22nd, I think. Fellow Libra, I just turned 24 on the 8th, so congratulations. But yeah, like you have to choose your fear, and that's just way scarier to me. Going through another year of my life, not growing, not aspiring. And when I turned 23, I really had like this mindset of, okay, I'll be 25 in 2 years. When I'm 25, I need to be that girl. And I don't necessarily mean like, oh, I accomplished everything, I'm a millionaire, all that shit by 25. But I mean, I need to look at the life that I'm leading and be absolutely obsessed with it. I need to be obsessed with her, the good and the bad. I need to make the proper choices so I end up there. Right? And now we less than a year away, baby. And I got a lot of clarity this year, a lot of growth this year, a lot of, I guess you can say, foundation building this year. And so now next year, maybe we already have plans. Things are already happening. I'm going to be 25 next year and I will be that girl. Okay? This is not no, delusion. Call it what you want. I will be her. You know what I'm saying? She's going to be the girl that I've always dreamt of. Because I've already started. I started the work last year in December. And I've been working it up. Working it up. Because I refuse to live a life that I don't want. And bringing it back to the confidence thing. When you're confident in yourself, you can say stuff like that and 100% believe it. Okay? They say the Lulu is the Salulu. Hey. Hey. Something's going to get me through. Okay? Not just God themselves. Something's going to get me through. But I have to be that girl, at least mentally. I refuse to settle for anything less. At least mentally, I have to be that girl. I have to be in that zone because that's who I want to be. And I feel like slowly but surely I keep getting drawn more and more and more to it, where I can physically see like how my days would go, how they would look, how they would be, because I'm making the choices now. So whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. You're choosing that for your life. So I guess this live, the morals of it is to choose your consistency, which my constant will always be a balance of mental health, and quality content for y'all because I love what I do and I love y'all and y'all deserve the absolute best. And I hope that you believe that about yourself too. And also, whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. And that confidence can change your entire life. Okay? I'm the type of person to apply for a job I'm not even qualified for. Qualified. I don't believe there's any job I'm not qualified for, to be honest with you. But, hello? When it comes down to it, I'll apply somewhere and people will call me and be like, oh, yeah, so do you think? I sure can. Mm-hmm. I definitely can. Why wouldn't I? why couldn't I? It's me. What's different about me? Nothing. I'm just as great as her over there. I can have it. That type of confidence literally has gotten me promotions. That type of confidence has gotten managers working on my behalf. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that. Literally, that type of confidence, hello, has gotten me in certain rooms that people never really thought I would be in. Walking and rubbing shoulders with people. That type of confidence, that type of thought process has gotten millionaires handing me their business card from me just mentioning, I might want to get into flipping houses one day. Here, take this. My cousin works on construction. They know how to install windows and such when you're ready to get started. Hey, take this. Yeah, when you're ready to get into property, give me a call. Hey, yeah, here's my number. Look, I just got done building my mansion down in Texas. My zodiac sign is a Libra. Literally, people getting me things and telling me not to say thank you. All that stuff has come from me believing that I deserve it. Because why not? Why don't you? There was another thing that I had heard that really changed my whole thought process. Like somebody would say, "Oh, I'm not confident enough to do XYZ. I'm not confident enough to say XYZ. I can't confidently do this or make this or whatever." And somebody was like, it's not that you lack confidence. It's that you're deciding to put it in the wrong place because you just confidently said that you couldn't do something. You just confidently said that you're not worthy of something. You just confidently said that you're not deserving of something. You just confidently said that that's not you and you can't do it. You just said that with the utmost confidence. So why can't you take that and apply it to positive things that actually make a difference in your life? Why can't you use words that uplift you, change you, make you feel better, help you grow? You're just choosing where you're applying your confidence. And I guess it might just be easier to base yourself in reality and believe that you can't have things because it's easier to believe that something isn't yours rather than it is. But I believe that I deserve to live a soft life, a happy life, a confident life. And it will be mine. You know what to say? Hello, are you? Oh, make sure I'm not missing nobody. Chase, drop your picture in the chat and let the audience decide. Well, my moderator got you out of here. So, Chase, you're just projecting your own lack of confidence onto me. See, I'm on live. People can see my face. I'm not hiding behind a page with no picture because I'm actually beautiful. I'm actually pretty. People actually like me. Hence the reason why I have 15 likes. And what do you have? Blocked. Oh, people like Chase make me laugh so much, y'all. I kind of do love them for real, though, because it just gives me a chance to shine. You know what I'm saying? It just gives me a chance to shine. Like, to think that your petty little comment is going to shift me. I don't really know what to tell you. I don't know. Honestly, y'all, what do y'all think that it is? Honestly, I'm going to ask the audience. What do y'all think that it is? Do you think that they really think that their negative comments are going to change me? This is an entire live about confidence, body positivity, loving yourself, knowing your worth, from somebody who's had it for over a decade. Do they really believe that a comment like that, do y'all think that they believe that a comment like that is going to change my entire mindset? Guys, I'm ugly. Oh my God. Chase behind a faceless photo, a faceless profile. Told me that was ugly. Oh my God. I have to go. I have to go. I have to get up. Like, I have to change my whole life. I have to change everything. Like, I'm so like, I'm so devastated. Can you clearly see it all over my face? Like, what is it? What is it gonna do? What is the goal here? Maybe I can help you reach it. You know, I am an actress. I did musical theater in high school. Okay, I'm quite the animator. Just ask my best friend. She's one of the moderators in here. I am quite the animated character. So whatever your goal is, maybe I can help you reach it. Maybe I can, even if I can't help you reach it, I can pretend to help you. You know what I'm saying? So Chase, hopefully my little performance brought you some type of solace in your broken life. Yeah. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate it. Hi, Mask. But yeah, I don't be understanding. Like, thanks, get a job. Okay. Yeah, I don't I don't understand it. Like, do they really think it's gonna change the trajectory? Like the same thing with like when people are like, oh my God, you're fat. Like, do you think that your comment is going to make me lose weight instantly? Is it Senyo? Is that how you say your name? Like, do you think that your comment is going to make me turn into an ogre overnight? Like, what type of magic? What did your mother tell you about how powerful your words were? Because maybe you took that a little too literally. Because you might think that it's gonna change me immediately. I regret to inform you, it won't. No matter how vicious and mean you are to me, you'll always be a loser. You'll always be known as the loser who made a negative comment on my life. I'm the person who's being watched, the person who's getting an engagement, the person who gets to talk to people, and you're the faceless person, the nobody behind the faceless page who comments projections onto people's lives. I don't know, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, like, like I be trying to get myself, like, low key trying to get myself into your shoes, because as an empath, I try to put myself in other people's shoes. I'm just trying to understand the psychosis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to understand what's going on with you, so I can properly communicate, because I'm not gonna lose weight overnight, right? And even if I was to lose weight, I'm still gonna be as confident. It doesn't matter. Thanks, Michael. You're the sweetest. It doesn't matter. But if I'm fat, if I'm skinny, it doesn't matter. I've never had a problem, as we've established, as the 3 men asked me out this week. Never had a problem. Never will have a problem. Like, I've had millionaires have questions on me. Like, I don't think what you're trying to accomplish is gonna happen. Like, it's not gonna change anything. So what exactly are you trying to gain? Because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be me. I'm still gonna be confident. I'm still gonna be bubbly. I'm still gonna be laughing. I'm still gonna be happy. Lone wolf. If you're a lone wolf, because if you didn't know, wolves are social animals and they live in packs. If you're a lone wolf, you've been abandoned in some way. Either you're sick, or you're old, or you're a danger to the pack, so they got rid of you. So, I mean, lone wolf fits you. You don't have anybody in your corner. Hence the reason why you're here making weird comments on my life. The jokes write themselves. The jokes truly do write themselves. It's like I don't even have to do anything. Lone wolves are defective. Yes, they are. If a wolf is by themselves, it means that there's something wrong with them. You might have rabies. Hey, you know what, lone wolf? I'm so sorry for your diagnoses. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you have rabies. That's unfortunate. It's so funny. It is so funny. Like I literally, this is the one thing that has taught me about like social hierarchies and things like that, right? Anytime that I've ever wanted to know what God is like, I always look at animals because animals do not subscribe to social constructs, right? Animals just live their lives. No matter what anybody is doing, they just live. They are the most natural form of nature. So if you want to know what normal behavior is, look at the animals because they're not tied down by religion, socioeconomic status, friendship. They're not tied down by any of that. They just live. Hey, Silly Billy, missed you. Um, yes, Jack. Animals teach us the truth. Like, just look at animals. They will show you. Okay, like number one, majority of the animal kingdom is a matriarchy. Most of the animals, especially like animals that have packs or groups that are social, like elephants, like hyenas, like wolves, they're led by a female. Hmm? So people say, oh, the male is the protector in the natural world out there with animals. The males are usually alone, or there's one of them, or they're discarded. And that's not to say that men are not helpful or whatever. I'm not saying anything like that. Men are just as important as women, right? But looking at the animal kingdom, the matriarchy is very, very, very prominent. Even when it comes down to animals that don't necessarily stay in groups, there are some animals that stay in pairs, mate for life, things like that, right? Primarily birds, right? A lot of male birds perform for female birds to get their attention. They have to do the work to make her interested. And they're usually the prettiest. They're bright and they have all these things, and she just stands there like, what you got for me? I love it. One of the biggest things that I had seen too is that there are homosexual, not like honestly, they don't really care because they don't care about gender or whatever the hell. There are gay birds and gay animals out there. There are trans animals out there. There is a fish. It's not the clownfish. It might actually be a clownfish as well, but there's a fish. I forgot what it was. Thanks, Michael. I forgot what it was, but basically, this species, their females out like rank or whatever the males. So it's like way more females than it is males. When there's too many females or no males at all in the little cluster, one of the females will turn into a male. We have amphibians who do it as well. Change their sex. Perfectly natural. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. Oh, okay. So I'm the dudes around here. I guess I'll just be the dude. Literally. There's these birds, they're like these white birds. Once again, one of them situations where it's like a sex imbalance, where there's a lot more male birds than there are female birds, right? And it's so cute. These birds mate for life. And so because all the females, I forgot exactly what it was called, but it's a white bird and it lives like on an island. When all the females were taken, the male birds, they don't want to be by themselves. So they just pair up. They just pair up. They're together now. There was another one I had watched where it was a different species of bird where this bird species is supposed to mate for life, but the male bird got the female bird pregnant or he fertilized her egg or whatever the hell, and then he Dippiana, right? What ended up happening was that another female bird came and helped her raise her chick, and now they're companions for life. It's so freaking funny. For all the weirdos in the chat, moderators are quick. I can't even read y'all messages. That's how fast they are. Okay? Don't type out a paragraph because I won't even read it. Because they would get you out of here before I even can. Okay? But nature literally had opened so many like doors for me where I would literally look at them and be like, oh my God, this is real. Like this is what it's like, because you can't say, oh, they're doing this for religion. Religion? They're birds. Like, oh, you can't identify whatever the fuck you want. We have fish and amphibians turning from female to male and vice versa. It just depends. It just depends on how they're feeling that week. Maybe they don't want to be a female today. Maybe they're not feeling that. So they're going to change and they're going to make it whatever the hell they want. And it just literally, that's why I say that I'm a spiritual person and everything, because I just do not like adhere to like weird social constructs, because it's like the animals is the ones who are showing us. They don't have religion. They just act in their natural form. And that's why I left religion, right? Like I was raised in a Christian household, but I left religion because a lot of things just didn't make any sense to me. And mainly because I felt like religion puts you in a box. Now, if you feel like your spiritual connection is connected to religion, I'm not dogging you. Do what you want to do. I don't hate on anybody in their spiritual journey, but I don't adhere to religion because, for one, I don't like being a part of things that man can get their hands on and fuck with and manipulate, right? I don't like that. I never trusted the Bible. At the end of the day, never trusted it, never adhered to it, because I don't like the idea that there's a physical copy of something that says this is what God said. You're trying to tell me in the eons that this book has been here, not one human being has went into that motherfucker and messed with it? You're trying to tell me not one? I can't believe you. That's for the Bible, that's for the Torah, that's for the Quran. I don't care which one it is. You're trying to tell me that not one human being was just like, this isn't fitting my narrative. I'm going to go ahead and switch some stuff up. And so when I say I don't trust the Bible, I mainly mean like I don't believe that it is a book that you have to follow to the letter. I see it like I see Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? And if you don't know what Rich Dad, Poor Dad is, it's basically like a life book about finances. I see the Bible the same way, or the Quran, or the Torah the same way. Like, I see it the exact same way as that, where it's like, I think that you're meant to take this book, like any life book, and basically see a passage in there that is meant to adhere to your life, to help you grow and help you better in your life. That's why I think there's a lot of contradictions in it, because it's supposed to be for everyone and no one at the exact same time. So you're supposed to be able to go in there and find whatever you need and then take that with you to better your life, right? Or to feel grounded, or to, I don't know, close a chapter in your life or whatever. It's supposed to be that for everyone, right? But I don't believe it's one of them things where it's an end all be all. Mainly, like I said, because I do not like the fact that people can get their hands on it and just change shit, touch shit. And you're meaning you want to tell me that I'm supposed to trust that this book that's thousands of years old has never been tampered with? It's been swapping hands for centuries. And you're trying to tell me it's never been tampered with? Please get out of here. Get out of here. Human beings are not known for being trustworthy. They're just not. Right? And so like just certain things too in religion outside of just the book that just didn't make any sense to me. Like when I was growing up, my mom used to tell me all the time, you gotta pray every day. You gotta talk to God every day. My grandpa too. And bless their hearts. Their bodies, okay? Literally like, you gotta pray every day, you gotta talk to God every day. And I used to be looking like, what? My mom literally printed out, she typed up a prayer, printed it out and put it on the back of my door and said that I had to read it every day. It was like a page and a half long. And I used to sit over there and I used to look at it and I used to be like, oh, this is a drag. And now, mind you, my grandparents and my parents were just doing what they thought was best, right? And I'm grateful because my mom introduced me to my spiritual journey, right? But on my path to my spiritual journey, I had to find my own way. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, YMB. Hey, Michael, that's what you gotta do. Boom, right? But she makes have me prayer every day, and I just couldn't adhere to it. She told me, "Oh, read your Bible every day." Couldn't adhere to it. I be looking through and I'm like, girl, girl, right? But you know, it felt so overwhelming when I was a kid that I stepped away from it for a while. I literally was like, you know, forget this. I don't want anything to do with this. It's too stressful. It's too much, right? But then a few years later, when I was a little bit older, I decided, you know, I want to start my own spiritual journey away from everyone. I don't want no outside influences. I don't want nobody telling me how I shoulda, coulda, woulda. I don't want any of that. I just want to start my journey and see where it goes. Hi, Ellen. I just got to see where it goes. And so what I did, right, is that I said to God, I said, God, if you're real, right, mind you, I have ADHD. I forget shit all the time. I would forget my own arm if it wasn't attached to me. I said one day in my bed, I was sitting there and I was quiet and I was just like, maybe I should get this little tri ski. I was like, okay, God, if you're real or whatever, hi Evelyn, if you're real or whatever, remind me to pray every day. That's what I want. That's gonna be my little stepping stone. Okay? That's gonna be my little stepping stone into this little relationship with you, right? Right after that prayer, every single day, God never let me forget. And listen, I got ADHD. Okay, keep that in mind. So not only would I forget, I would forget multiple times throughout the day. So I'll be like in the morning, I'd be like, okay, God, yes, right in the morning, I'm early. Right in the morning, I got you, God. Remind me. After I brush my teeth, wash my face, I'm gonna pray. Then I'll brush my teeth, wash my face. I would go like an hour without remembering. And then God would be like, hey. I'm like, oh, right, God, I'm supposed to be doing that. Let me get dressed for work, and then I promise you, I'll pray. Get dressed for work, get on the bus, ride the bus. God be telling me right before I get to my next stop. Oh my gosh, God, yeah, I'm supposed to pray. You right. I'm supposed to talk to you. You right. Let me go ahead and get on this connecting bus and I'll pray. This is all on the same day, by the way. Literally, get on my connecting bus, about to walk into the door at work. Gotta be like, hey. I'm like, oh my gosh, God, you right. I told you like 2 hours ago I was supposed to pray, God. You know what? God, thank you this morning. I appreciate you. Love you. Bye. Wouldn't get reminded anymore after the day. Until the next day. And then we'll do it all over again. And that was the first, like, whoa. I was like, oh, yeah, there might be something to this. And that was like I'm 24 now. 4 years ago? 3 or 4 years ago? When I was working at Forever 21, I was 20? Yeah. God hasn't let me forget since. And it's been my own little thing. And I'm not religious. I tell people all the time I'm spiritually bounded. I am not religious. Okay? I believe in a spiritual life, right? But I also believe in what's morally right and what makes logical sense. Okay? And so within that, like not only through that, God always connected to me through music. Always through music. Like anytime we had to go to church when I was a kid, praise and worship was my favorite part of the entire service. Like that was the only thing I cared about. That was the only thing I paid attention to. Anything outside of praise and worship, I was like, okay, the preacher talking, girl. Like I wouldn't be paying attention to none of that. And to this day, it still happens like that. Music just touches my spirit in a way that just can't be explained, right? And God has continued that for forever. But as I started on my own spiritual journey, just a lot of things started to open up for me that just couldn't keep me on the path of religion or saying that I was a Christian. Because I just can't say that I am. Like, for instance, I don't believe that homosexuality is a sin. It doesn't make any sense. Thanks. Let's mow the lawn together. Michael, I do believe in God 100%. But when it comes down to Jesus, I do believe that God came down here. I don't give a damn what you call him. The Muslims believe in Jesus. Christians believe in Jesus. I don't know what the Jews don't. The Jews don't believe that Jesus came down here. I don't know about the Buddha. I only talked to one person who was was in Hindu and stuff like that. Oh, bye, Silly Billy. Have fun with dinner. Thanks for joining the live. Love ya. But yeah, I do believe that God came down here at some point. I truly do. You can call him whatever you want. Jesus, I don't know, Jehovah, whatever you want to call him. I do think that God came down here just because I think as human beings, we have a tendency to complain. I truly think that we just complain like, God, you don't understand how hard it is. You don't get it. Like as a human, you don't get it. You don't get how hard it is down here. So you're trying to make it seem like we could just be good and whatnot. You don't get that. So I think that God did come down here in human form to just see what it's like. But honestly, I also think that God came down in multiple other forms too. I don't think that God just came down in human form. I think God maybe came down as a flower, as a fly. Because God is not a person, right? To me, I don't think that God is a person. I think that God is an it. Like God is everything and nothing at the same time. I think that God is the smallest germ on a bug and the fluffiest cloud in the sky to the smartest person you know, to, I don't know, the shortest person you know. God doesn't have a look. God doesn't adhere to certain things. Yes, Mike, I do believe that there is a devil. I'm a Libra. So I believe in balance. If there's good, there has to be bad. If there's a God, there has to be a devil. That's just how my Libra brain works. Um, but yeah, I don't believe that God adheres to any type of struggle, or not struggle, but any type of species or thing, right? And it's because God made everything. To me, I think that God did make everything. Now, the Big Bang, I don't know if that's exactly how it happened, but who knows, right? We're talking about a being that doesn't like adhere to time and space, right? I just can't see a being that amazing adhering to something so petty. Like I really just can't. And my whole thought process was when it came down to like just the social constructs of things. When people say, "Oh, well, God isn't, God isn't this, but God is that." It just doesn't make any sense to me. So you're trying to tell me that this ethereal being, this being that doesn't even adhere to time and space, that is not a person, it's not a plant, they are not a bug, they're not even a molecule, they're everything, adheres to social constructs of homosexuality. You're telling me that this being is a homophobe? Like, there's so many conflicting principles. You're right. Like exactly. Believe what you want. None of us have the fucking answers. Like when I literally sit back, like I'm like, so let me make sure I'm understanding. God isn't a sexist. He's not sexist. He's not misogynistic. He's not classist or whatever. But they're homophobic. Why? And any person I've ever asked, because like I said, I grew up in a Christian household. Anybody that you ever ask, any Christian really, because I didn't really talk to many Muslims, but anybody that you ever ask that, they always say, well, these people that I've talked to, is because God said so. But see, here's the thing. That doesn't make any sense either. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, Michael, thanks for letting us know that. I appreciate that. We love our peeps who are on the spectrum. We love our fellow neurodivergents. We love that. Like, I'm sitting there like, that doesn't make any sense. So you're trying to tell me that God is homophobic just because they are, and we're not supposed to question that. Okay, well then answer me this. Why would God give us a brain to think? Why would God give us critical thinking if we weren't supposed to think? And then on top of that, there's no question that God couldn't answer. So why would they be afraid of us asking questions? I can ask as many questions as I want until my teeth fall off my skeleton. I can ask as many as I want. God doesn't care. God is not threatened by me. Once again, we're talking about a being that does not adhere to time and space, that is not even a species. Like this being does. Why would they care? Like when you say why, like I had a whole. This is the night that made me completely leave Christianity. I got into an argument with my Christian grandmother and mother about this because I was like, why? What is the reason? You just telling me because God said so? God doesn't do that. Because why would God give us critical thinking? Why would God let us think if they wanted us to be mindless zombies? God wouldn't give us a sense of self. God wouldn't give us a conscience. God wouldn't give us these things if they didn't want us to actually use them. And like y'all say, God doesn't make mistakes. Right. So why would God be homophobic? What about two men being together makes God so angry that they would damn them to hell? What about that is so unnerving? This is not a being who doesn't understand like intercourse. They gave us sexual body parts. I'm not understanding. This is the being who, according to your book, tells us to love our enemies, but they're bothered by two men loving each other. And then I have to think about like this too. They'll say things like, oh, God is everywhere. You can't hide from God. Okay, so using that logic, that means that God sees me going to sleep, God sees me having sex, God sees me eating, God sees me shitting, God sees me crying, God sees me laughing, God sees me going to the movies, going on a date, fighting with my boyfriend, fighting with my mama, cussing, stealing, lying, cheating. God sees it all. So you're trying to tell me that God is just so unnerved by two men doing it? This is a being that doesn't, that isn't. And then what kills me too, right? What kills me too, what kills me too, is that as human beings, we have laws in place that say that we cannot discriminate against someone according to their sexual orientation. You're telling me that this being is discriminating against somebody getting into heaven or hell because of their sexual orientation? I beg. I beg. I beg. Like, you're telling me that human beings, we came up with the idea that we should treat human beings equally before the being that created us? Listen, we don't have an original thought more original than God. Okay? God is the originator of original thoughts. God is the originator of original thoughts. We can't outthink God. So I'm not understanding how we came up with that before them. That doesn't make any sense. It never has. It never will. It never will. And that's when I decided, this isn't for me. I need to be open. And I tell people all the time too, none of us have the fucking answers. All you have is personal testimony. That's it. That's all any of us have. All you can present to the class is that, oh, God did this in my life. God moved mountains in my life. God did da. All you can present to the class is that this is what God has done for me. This is my testimony. This is what God and me have created together. How do you know that the person who follows Hindu doesn't have the same? Same thing with like people love that look. Michael, you should check out my other videos. My audience, they die every single time I do that look. I was also just thinking about how like people try to like put God in this box when it comes down to like everything, like every little baby thing. Like when you think about art, somebody will be like, oh, you can't what is it? You can do like, we can like paint on like a canvas, or we can use chalk on the ground, or we can use graffiti on walls, but then you can't get a tattoo. That's where God cuts the line. Freedom of expression stops at the skin. But then you sit back and you look and you just like, I don't understand why God would want us all to be the same, but then made us all different. You're trying to convince me that God hates freedom of expression when God is the most expressing thing on any planet in any universe. I'm not really understanding here. Like, you're telling me, like, God made us all different shapes, different sizes, different colors, different hair textures. We all follow different cultures. We all live in different places. There's multiple different bodies of water. There's multiple different ways to speak a language. There's multiple different ways to sing, dance, make, create. There's so many, like, literally, we are a jack of all trades. We are a salad. God makes an overabundant amount of us that are different. Not any one of us are the same. Not even identical twins are the same. We're all uniquely ourselves. And so it just never made any sense to me. But y'all, I have completely forgotten that my phone is freaking dying. It's on 5%, so I have to cut this live short. But I will be back sometime. I don't want to give y'all a certain date because I'm a liar. So, no, I'm just playing. But I love you guys very, very much. Thank you all for the lovely people who have joined. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And I think her name was, I want to make sure I don't miss it. She's up here. Malaya, girl, special shout out to you. Thank you so much. You are so freaking sweet for all of the things that you put in the chat. I appreciate you guys. I'll come on to live sometime, probably next week. But yes, love you, love you, love you. Thank you all so much for the support and commenting. And I'll see y'all in the next one. And I'll make sure my phone is charged. Bye. Oh my gosh. Oh.